What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got a little bit of an odd video for this week, I think. I'm sure quite a few of you have heard on the news that well, the whole West Coast has got fires everywhere, but specifically Spokane has some pretty big fires right now. I don't know how good the video is going to pick it up. It tends to clear a lot of stuff out. But this is Monday. The fire started on Saturday, and it's very smoky today. The air quality is like 160 right now. It got all the way up to almost 300 at the last night. Woke up this morning on the road to work. The sun was out, so it wasn't near as hazy. All day yesterday, especially in the morning, it looked like orange haze, and just then it kind of got cloudy, and then it cleared up a little bit. But yeah, I woke up this morning, I'd see the sun again. I was like, that must be a good sign. It must be kind of going down a little bit. I looked at the fire app again, which I'll pull up here in a minute. I'll screen record something and put it in here and kind of show you the area that the fires are in right now on Monday. There's been a couple different ones, and I'll kind of talk over it in the video too and explain it. But yeah, it's been kind of wild. Luckily, I guess I should probably start off by saying this, but luckily we're in a good spot right now, and we haven't had to evacuate anything where we live. But it still is somewhat close. Too close for comfort, but it's not nearly as close to us as some other people that had to evacuate on Saturday. I personally know at least one family, but a couple other people that have had to evacuate, and they still have no idea in the state of their house. Well, they found out yesterday it's still there, but then there was another fire creeping up, and luckily as of right now it's still good in that area. But so I'm not going to ride over by where the actual fire is. One, because it's still going on, and I don't want to get in the way even when it does die down. I had kind of thought about it, making a video later on, going through and showing you guys, but it felt kind of weird to me, and I talked to my wife about it, and I just decided it's not a good idea. It just doesn't feel right. I'm going to add some photos that other people have taken, and maybe some short little video clips. I mean, you can look it up all over the internet. I don't need to go up there and record it to see what's happening and what's been going on. I just don't need to get in the way. But yeah, I just talked to my wife, and I just decided it didn't feel right. It wasn't a good idea, so I'm not going to do that. But I was riding home for lunch today, and just seeing how bad the smoke is. Like this morning, like I said, you could see the sun. It was clear, and it's really hard to tell, but the fires are all over this way. I'm sure that's got to at least come up on the video a little bit. Well, like all the fires are up here in this area. Just really smoky over the highway for that reason. But yeah, it's really sad. I mean, there's a lot of people that just have a lot of devastating loss from this, and I feel for them, because you never know. You never know if it could happen to you, you know. And I grew up in the Midwest. We had to worry about like tornadoes and things like that, but and that was bad enough, and I've seen the loss of some of that. But man, these wildfires, when they started getting into neighborhoods and towns like this, it's pretty wild. Especially because it's kind of like an ongoing thing. But not saying it's worse than any other natural disaster or anything like that. Don't get me wrong about that. It's just, it's wild to see the differences in them. It's not the best. And it's kind of it's weird because it's one of those things that even if it's not directly affecting you, like every time I walk outside, you see, I mean, it just smells like smoke. I mean, and just for me riding back and forth to work, my whole uniform, it just smells like I sat around a campfire. Like you can't really get away from any of it. You see it, you smell it, it's all over everywhere. So it's just like days of hearing and seeing about it, and it just kind of just reminds you of what everybody else is kind of going through and what you could possibly be going through. I mean, it's wild. The wind was so bad on Saturday when it all started, and that's what made it worse. It was 50, 60 mile an hour winds, and it just, once it started, it just went, and it grew like crazy. And if the fire would have started on the west side of where I live, I might be telling a different story. So it's really like humbling to see how fast things can change. And there was a pop-up fire over on the west side of us later on that day. Luckily it wasn't in the trees area as much, and it was a lot more vegetation fire, so it wasn't as bad and didn't spread as fast, and they were able to get it contained pretty quick because it would have been in the direction to blow towards us. But like I said, luckily it was a little bit different land there that it started on, and we didn't end up having to do anything, but we were prepared to have to do that, so you just never know. Wow, that's great. Dude didn't even try to slow down. He just dusted some shit out of me. But anyways, like I was saying, yeah, it's terrible. My heart goes out to all those families, and I just wanted to kind of, throw some of that information out to you guys. I'll talk a little bit more when I put the videos and stuff up. Like I said, I'll do like a little voiceover thing. But that's probably about all I'm going to do for the video for this week. I was going to do some other stuff, but I'll probably save it for the upcoming weeks here. But I did want to update you guys and let you know, as of right now, we're still good. And the winds have died down the last couple days, so like over last night, they were able to get one of the fires somewhat more contained. It's still at 0% containment though. It's just, but some of the other ones are at 50 or 100 or so. That's good, but the other ones are still ongoing, so. Alright, well, I'm gonna finish riding back to work, and the rest of this video will likely just be kind of those screenshots, different photos and video, and the voiceover of the fire map and stuff I'll show you guys. But till then, see you guys later.
Okay, so here is the fire map. It's an app called Watch Duty. Kind of go over, so Airway Heights right there is where I live at, and then as you can see right there, I'm at the base right now at work. That's where the Air Force Base is. So the first fire that started the other day was this Old Trails fire. It was the biggest one, and this was the one that started Saturday. It spread really fast because, like I said, it was 50, 60 mile an hour winds. It's level 3 evacuation, all that. Where you see the red outline where I just zoomed in at, that is where the actual fire is. Everything else around it is where people need to leave. So yeah, that little red part right there is the fire. All the little yellow dots and all that is where the power is out. The power is out pretty much in that whole area because when the fire started, they had to shut all that off. But that's about right where it's at. And as you can see right there, that's where downtown Spokane is. So this is kind of up northwest Spokane. It's the old trails fire, but it's in the North Indian Trail and Indian Trail neighborhood. Some people I know live right there in that neighborhood, and they had to evacuate through the day. And then later on that day, this fire here started. It's the Fairview fire. As you can see, the red again is right where the fire is at. But this little fire symbol there, see the forward progress has stopped. But where it's not completely red, that means it's 50% contained. Whereas this one here, it's still all red. That means it's 0% contained right now. The last fire that started the other day was right here. This one was right next to the base. At one point it was up to 7 acres, but this was more of a vegetation fire. It went all the way over the South Brooks Road, kind of just in this little rectangle square area right here is kind of where the evacuation zone was. The actual fire was kind of just right there, but you could see how close it was to base, and they were doing some stuff to make sure we were going to be able to get people out of there if we need to. But since that was a vegetation fire, it didn't grow near as much, and the wind had already died down. But this old trails fire is on top of a bunch of trees, and the crowns of the trees, they catch fire, and it just spreads very, very fast. The newest one right now is this Autumn Lane fire. This one started late Saturday, I believe, and it's grown quite a bit. It's up over 5,000 some acres now. That Charles fire is something different, but the whole thing is called Autumn Fire or Autumn Lane Fire. And yeah, it spread pretty fast. They don't have it under control yet either. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, the whole West Coast has fires everywhere. Now some of these are bigger. Like, see, this one here is 51,000 acres, closer over towards the middle of the state on the east side of Seattle. But there's fires everywhere. This app shows you all kinds of different things, flooding, whatnot. Some of these fires in the south are a little bit smaller. They're only like a couple acres each. But yeah, these are the ones right now. It's like I said, it's sad. It hasn't grown much since the other day, but that's kind of where it is.
as you guys seen, showed you the map and some pictures and stuff, and that's just a handful of pictures. Like I said, if you really want to see more, you can Google it or on Facebook or watch the news. It's everywhere. That just kind of gives you an idea of what the fire can do and stuff like that. It's really really wild. This is just a couple hours later. I'm leaving work now, and you could still kind of just see the fog and haze that the smoke's leaving. The smell of the smoke has died down a little bit for now. It was pretty strong earlier, but yeah, that's about all I'm going to do for this week's video, though. I'm just going to end it here. Hopefully you so just wanted to get something out to you guys, kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on what's going on here, and you know, we'll see you next week, hopefully for a little bit more upbeat, happy content, more motorcycle focus related. But until then, hope you guys have a good one, and be safe. Later.